Yo, I'm Samuel Sarfo.
I'm Adam Dash.
And welcome to the SoundCentric podcast. Music lives here. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you guys' support all the time. We love you guys, and we thank you for everything you've done for us. And we're obviously putting in the work. Adam just wrote a recent article on Type Beats on the website, so make sure you go check that out as well. Really, really cool stuff. But Adam, I haven't seen you in a while, man. What is your playlist title, and what is your leading single?
Now, I got a lot of big things happening this week. Mm-hmm. For one, them boys are in the Super Bowl. I know it was my playlist name that week.
Okay.
You know, it's game week, so I'm gonna have two playlists. So my first playlist, it's game week, and it's gonna be Classic by Meek Mill. It's one of my favorite Meek Mill songs. Or no, I'm gonna do Same Old Meek. If you know that song, it's on the Knowledge mixtape, and he took it down. Meek took it down because he's a loser. But it's one of the best Meek Mill songs ever. But also, so this pod's gonna come out tomorrow. So Wednesday, Big Time Rush. This is random.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Nickelodeon show.
All right.
They're doing a world tour, and they found out that their most listened to region is Columbus, Ohio.
Oh.
So in order to practice for their tour, they hit up my club, OUAB, and they are performing a show for like 500 to 1,000 people, and I am helping work the show. So I'm gonna get to meet Big Time Rush. Subtle flex that our hip hop fan base probably won't care about. But it's kind of cool. You know, Big Time Rush was a fun. Do you watch that show ever?
Dude, that was the classic, bro. Gustavo.
Oh, you're on? Okay.
The GOAT,
Gustavo,
bro. Come on now. Gustavo, if you know, you know.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun. But really, I'm really excited for the Super Bowl. I'm going home, seeing my family. Yep. I'm going to be in the streets of Philly, hopefully after we win, wreaking havoc, climbing poles, flipping cars. Who knows?
Burning trash cans. Y'all were crazy with that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Someone in 2017, there's a video of a guy eating horse poop off the ground.
Wow.
So, no, we keep it classy in Philly.
It's an evil world we live in.
It is. But I'm excited. But what is your playlist name for the week? How we feeling?
My playlist title for the week is The Culture, and the leading single is Heart Part 5. Kendrick Lamar, you can see the t-shirt. I got this t-shirt at his Mr. Morale concert. Incredible, by the way. I just thought it was a big time win for the culture hip hop within the Grammys. I was watching the Super Bowl performance again. Excited for Rihanna to perform this Sunday for her performance. Man, Black people are winning, and I'm here for it, man. And hip hop 50-year anniversary, we are ready for that. I'm hungry. I want more. Hopefully this year is better than last year, and hopefully it just keeps on getting better and better. But let's not waste your guys' time, and let's dive into the Grammys, which was obviously the topic point, the hot topic that everyone was talking about, really.
It's backwards. I'm trying to be like J. Cole and have the fuck the Grammys.
If you're not watching, he basically held up an F the Grammy sign, the J. Cole beat, if you guys know what you're talking about. But obviously a big day for rap. Obviously the Grammy Awards are really exciting because literally all the superstars are showing up there. Obviously the leaders, Beyonce with 9 nominations, Kida with 8, Adele and Brandi Carlile tied for 7. Starting with the rap categories, rap album of the year, Kendrick Lamar won for the Heart Part 5, which is kind of obvious. I mean, his competition wasn't that high apart from Pusha T, DJ Khaled, Future, Jack Harlow. I mean, the competition wasn't strong. I don't think. Yeah.
They could have made it harder for him. They could have added it. I really think JID was the number one person who deserved this spot.
Yeah.
I think he was. It's one thing to be number one on one list, number two on one list. He was consistently a top 5 person on every single list. And I saw a list where Kendrick Lamar, not this has to be a Kendrick shaming, but like Kendrick wasn't a unanimous top 5. I think JID easily deserved that respect to be put in there. And I know some people are saying like a Denzel Curry would have been cool. At the end of the day, and I said this on the other podcast, like Jack Harlow really and DJ Khaled really, like they didn't. That didn't represent hip hop, and it's the 50th year of hip hop. It would have been cool to get some really, really down to the roots nominees. But hey, the right person won. Basically, I know I wanted Push personally because it would have been cool for that genre of hip hop, coke rap, to win a Grammy. They couldn't go wrong. Like no one's mad, obviously, that Kendrick Lamar won.
Yeah, and it's so disappointing, especially because in 2018, they did so well, like with the nominations, inviting Freddie and Mac, Nipsey. So you hope that the Grammys can continue that and to see the nominations this year, especially with Jack Harlow. Love Jack, but it definitely wasn't Album of the Year. And I mean, with Kendrick, at least, I think that what he was able to demonstrate on that album, the album has only grown on me even more. I know it's not a classic for sure, but I do think that it is an incredible, incredible piece of art. Even on his speech that he said this was the hardest album he had to make. So, I do think that the authenticity, the vulnerability of this album, I think is miles and well above everybody's head.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was so vulnerable. He talked about how he makes underground music for the mainstream, which was such a great way to describe it, especially when you have people like Alchemist who are known as like underground producers producing on your album, and you're helping maybe bring that name attention to people outside. Incredible album. I'm really happy for him because he's our generation's like GOAT.
Yeah.
Even though he might not be our personal favorites, but like he represents our generation and making this culture's music. And then to get into best rap performance, which he also won, there was DJ Khaled with Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and John Lennon. So many names. God did. Hove, and we'll talk about this later. That was a crazy performance. He rapped for so long. My friend goes, "This is a long verse." It went on for
the song.
He like kind of knew the song, but he goes in the middle. He goes, "That was a long verse." He went on 3 minutes longer after my friend said, "That was a long verse." So I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. Doja Cat, Vegas, Gunna and Future, Young Thug, Push and P. That's a huge hit in the beginning of the year. Glorilla and Hit Kid, FNF. That was a huge song this year. But Kendrick Lamar deservingly winning for the Hard Part 5. First off, I love series in hip hop music. We've talked about this before. I think it's so cool when an artist that kind of sticks to a certain series and always does it before an album. And I remember I was at a movie theater. I think I just saw Doctor Strange, bad movie. Look at my phone, and K-Dot dropped, and my life changed.
Yeah, I remember that exact day because Adam texted me saying Kendrick dropped, and I'm like, stop playing with me. He did not drop. Don't lie. Why would he drop? I look at the phone. Hard Part 5, I'm going crazy. And let me tell you this, I'm not ashamed to say, I think the Hard Part 5 is the best rap song to come out of 2022. That was ahead of its time. Lyrically, the sample used for that, Marvin Gaye, incredible. And just his words, man, what he's talking about, the culture, the problems that we're going through, a lot of deaths in hip hop. It's a no contender for real. I looked at the competition as well. Not as strong. I do love Jack Harlow featuring Drake, the Churchill Downs. That was an incredible song. Drake killed it, one of the best features of the year. But I think that Kendrick track, man, that was completely untouchable for real. And a big thing too, Kendrick broke a record. He is now surpassed Eminem, who had 15 Grammys. Now Kendrick has 17, and he's now the third most accomplished Grammy winner. The top two, which is both tied for number one, is Jay and Kanye with 24 Grammys. So that's just another plaque for Kendrick's GOAT status.
It's amazing. He's so much more music to make and give to us. And people don't know how hard it is to have strong beliefs in something and then turn it into a song and make it a good song. There's like political rappers out there that we don't like listening to because they don't make good music, but they have really strong beliefs. And there's people who make good music, but you're like, what the? They're not even saying anything. And Kendrick Lamar has found that perfect middle ground of being able to provide such great commentary on stuff and then also make like a hit song. And that was a great song. So to get into best melodic rap performance, we had DJ Khaled, Future, SZA, Beautiful. Future featuring Drake and Thames, Wait For You. Incredible song. That's a great song. Jack Harlow, First Class. I know you love that one. Not for me. Personally, I don't like Sweet Seaman. Kendrick Lamar featuring Blast and Amanda Ryfer, Die Hard. Also did not like that song. And Lotto, Big Energy, the live version of it. I've not heard that song, honestly. But the winner was Future, Wait For You. I think it's awesome for Future because he's such a big part of our past generation and our past 10 years of hip-hop.
Yep.
And it was a good song.
My problem is with this melodic rap performance, because when I look at the list, right, I look at Lotto's Big Energy, I look at Jack Harlow's First Class, even all of these, to be honest, it's not melodic. Yes, it's melodic and has melodies, but it's not melodic rap. It's just rap. Yes, people sing and rap. Welcome to the world of hip hop Grammys. I mean, I don't understand. I understand, of course, that hip hop has obviously evolved to have like Autotune melodic with the Roddies, the Lil Baby. So I understand that. But I just think this category is a little bit tricky and I don't like the way they're handling it and shoving things in here. I'm even sure they put J. Cole's, what was it? Your favorite song on there with Moray.
Future Drake song was melodic rapping. Like Drake's singing on that song. So I know you mean that there's a hard, like Kendrick Lamar, Jack Harlow's rapping on that song. He's not. It's just because of sample.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why it gets a little bit tricky.
I think maybe it's their way to just award people for more awards.
Yeah, and of course, yeah.
I think hip hop can just take the more exposure they can get.
That is true, and they have been expanding their list. Like the album of the year and album of the songs have been like 10 people, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. But again, you get to nominate more people. But people have been mad that they haven't been showing all the rap categories, and it's not just rap. It's been a lot of genres as well. But they don't air it during the show. They air it beforehand, where you don't see it at all. And some people take that as a disrespect to hip hop, especially as the number one genre.
Yeah, it's always an interesting look because this day and age, hip hop is the most popular genre, and it's like, who are we showing the show for then?
Yeah.
Because it is the most popular genre. And it's crazy that only one person gets nominated for Album of the Year from hip hop.
Yeah.
When so many more should get nominated. Maybe not specifically this year, but in general, in the past. It's like you get 7 pop singers. And it's like, why does Harry Styles' album hypothetically mean more than this JID album, which was huge? Maybe it wasn't successful stream-wise, but I think the stories they're telling in hip-hop is such a vulnerable genre and so poetic that I think it's time where hip-hop starts being put more in that Album of the Year category. It seems like it's only reserved for Kendrick and Kanye to be in there.
I definitely agree with you, but I think sometimes hip-hop fans get a little bit upset when they don't get a lot of rap albums in this category. But you need to understand, to get into this category, you need to expand your sound in a more mainstream and professional way that's still authentic to you. So there's been a handful of times where I think, deservingly so, a rap album deserved Album of the Year. That goes with Jay-Z's Black Album. Again, that's when you take the rawness of hip hop, lyrically, content-wise, and everything, and put it on mainstream beats that people can enjoy in the pop world. Second is Eminem's Show. He should have won it for that. Graduation, when you hear Stronger, that is a world-renowned song. It's not just hip-hop niche. It's when an artist takes and expands their brand. Eminem with Eminem Show expanding to rock. And then, of course, Jay-Z with Black Album with a little bit of the jazz influence and stuff like that. Kendrick Lamar with To Pimp a Butterfly, or even maybe Good Kid, Mad City. Those should have won as well. But I do think it's a rare occurrence when a rap album can win, because, again, it needs to be very high and appeal to the mainstream.
Yeah, but like, is it about the streams of it, or is it about the content of the actual skill to the music?
I think it's everything. Because,
I mean, I saw people hating on that. I didn't really listen to the Harry Styles album. I know like the one song from it.
Yeah.
But like, was it that different from normal pop music? Like, was it that out there of an album to win? Like,
it was
I don't
good,
know.
though. It was good.
Yeah, I'm sure it was good. I just don't think they award certain genres. I think like hip hop, even EDM music and country music, I'm not familiar with like the game for them. But like it's crazy. It's just pop artists usually, and they throw in one other person.
Yeah. It's again, it's up and down. But I know another person that people were really hyping up was Beyonce. She showed up late. She was late to traffic. I don't know how the Grammys felt about that.
What does that mean?
They snubbed her for Album of the Year. What do you mean?
I don't think that's true. But so what does that mean? She was late in traffic. Did she not know she had to go to the Grammys?
I don't know, bro. I have no clue why she was late.
I thought it was like a funny excuse.
It happens, man. It happens. And of course, she broke the record as well. She finally surpassed the late conductor, George Solti, with 31 Grammys. Now she has 32 Grammys. She won so much for Best R&B Song, Cuff It, Best Traditional R&B Performance, Plastic Off the Sofa, Best EDM Recording, Break My Soul, and Best EDM Album, which is really great to see. I know with Tyler, right, they put his in Rap for Igor, and he didn't consider it rap. Again, another situation with the Grammys on that, and also the whole melodic rap performance thing. But the one thing I didn't really like so much about the Grammys, it didn't feel like the Grammys. It felt like the Beyonce Grammys every single second. And this is no disrespect. She is the queen. She's the GOAT. I get it. But like, Beyonce, oh my God, Beyonce queen. Like, oh my goodness. It was like set for Beyonce to win everything. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I think she is a different level of fame where even A-list people, when they see Beyonce, they go, oh shit, that's Beyonce. Yeah. Like, she's famous to famous people. Yeah. I literally think she's the most famous person in the world.
It's true.
She's kind of like that Michael Jackson aura. It's like, oh my, it's Jay-Z and Beyonce standing next to each other, like the king and queen of music. So yeah, bro, like that girl, who was the girl who won? Oh, it was Lizzo. Lizzo was like shouting out Beyonce and everything. Like, these people are starstruck. They're like, that's the GOAT right there. So it was cool, and she broke the record. So good for her. I won't
hate too much, but I like the inclusivity of everything. And like, you have Kendrick and other big artists there. And I get, again, I love Beyonce. I get it. Her album was another example. I should have won Album of the Year for Lemonade. No hate to Adele, because that album was incredible, 25. But man, there was just a whole lot of, it was just all about Beyonce, that whole entire Grammys, for real.
But yeah, she didn't win Album of the Year. And people said once she broke the record for that other category, which I think was dance music. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
They said like, oh, she's not winning Album of the Year, because they wouldn't have wasted it on like that award to like break the record
Yeah.
I'm happy Plastic Off the Sofa won. That was my favorite song from the album. Besides
Great
Cuff It.
song. Personally, I did love this Beyonce album, but I didn't think it was album of the year. And I hate how people are always picky about album of the year. Again, that list was stacked. There was a lot of great artists.
I didn't care who won, realistically.
He said, F the Grammys.
Yo, but not that she didn't deserve the one. Who was that one girl who won? Was it the older woman?
Older woman. There's a lot of old people at the
She
Grammys.
She won like best song of the year, and Vegas had odds for it, and she had the least. She was like plus 5,000, least likely odds to win the award, and she won, and she was shocked herself.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I remember I was looking at the best song, and I found some person who won, but I didn't know who that person was.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked by the star status on that list.
Yeah, it was a very famous older woman. I feel bad saying older woman too. I don't know exactly who it was, but it's funny when like they're shocked herself. She's like, "Wow, I did not think I was going to win that award."
Yeah,
but hey, it happens.
It does happen. And then getting into the hip hop 50 anniversary performance, that was incredible, man.
Man, that was awesome. Shout out to Questlove of the Roots, starting that out with Black Thought. Curated so well. People were complaining about certain people being left out. At the end of the day, and I saw him tweeting about this, you only have like 10 minutes to make this thing, and there's only so much time that so many artists and so many people can go in. He said some people aren't good at performers, so you have to like weigh that in. And I thought it was awesome. They did skip, we were talking about this before, they kind of skipped 20 years really quickly when they went from the Lox to Lil Baby. It felt like they were missing like 20 years of hip hop music. Maybe that's partly because you can't bring Kanye West this year, and Lil Wayne is performing after the commercial break, so you can't get like the 2010s rap there. But it was awesome. You saw some of the most legendary, your goat's favorite goat, like you saw Jay-Z in the audience just like rapping, going off. It was sick. Yep. You liked it? I know you liked it.
I loved it, man. I think this is important for the new generation, especially with a lot of the disconnect between the new generation, the older generation, and for them to witness what the real GOATs are. I mean, seeing Rakim is a top 5 rapper to me. He is so influential to me. And I remember there was a video that not leaked, but was presented on social media. And there was Jay-Z in the back room thanking Rakim for coming, saying how he inspired him and he paved the way for everyone here. Seeing LL perform Rock the Bells, Scarface. I love Scarface. I know he had health problems in the hospital. It was scary. And he was back to kill the stage. Ice-T, legendary man. I saw Queen Latifah of UNITY. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Method Man came on. Here I am. The Method Man. Jay was going ham.
He loved that,
Busta Rhyme. He was doing the Look at Me Now. If you saw that, that was pretty insane.
Dude, Busta Rhymes, his ability to control his voice is so... People don't know how hard that is. Yeah. He's rapping fast, but also changing tone in his voice. It's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah. And although I loved so much of it, you guys know me. I'm the hater. I'm the old head. Get your laughs, get your jokes up. But it's the truth. There is no reason in hell Lil Baby should have more time than Rakim and Method Man. There is no reason. I understand that they wanted to do a old generation to the new generation, but like, listen, Lil Baby, I don't know, man, because Lil Baby, Glorilla, Uzi to be right after the Lox, after they prepared. Come on, after they dropped that joint, and
it felt really fast. And that's what I was saying. It kind of skipped 20 years so quick, and maybe those are the only artists that said yes. Actually, that is what happened. Those are the only artists that were going to go to the awards who wanted to do it. They couldn't get a J. Cole. They couldn't get these underground artists because they weren't invited to the Grammys. I mean, the Uzi thing was stupid. He didn't rap, and you say he came out as an energy.
Looked like Dragon Ball Z character just getting weird, then starts twerking on. I'm just, what is going on?
Yeah, that wasn't necessary, but hey, hip hop 1973 in the Bronx was created, and it's amazing to see them get to be featured on the big stage where the world goes, who is that person? Maybe they look up a song and maybe they discover a new favorite artist.
Yeah.
That's the best part of hip hop, because when you're listening to this modern music, you hear them reference stuff that maybe you don't realize, and then you listen and like, oh, they were sampling and or poking to this 90s album. And that 90s album will reference this famous 78 album. And that's the sickest thing about hip hop for me personally. I just love it. There's so many references in it, and you can always find new music in it.
Yeah, bro, get on that Scarface grind.
Yeah, I have to listen to Scarface.
I just listened to the Diary, man, and there's a song. I forget. I'm gonna butcher the name of it. It's with Ice Cube, and it's my favorite. One of my favorite rap songs of all time, and one of my favorite verses.
I think I know what song you're talking about. And for me, I love. He's a song called "Betrayal" on the Gangsta album.
Amazing.
One of my favorite songs of all time. I've remade my own version of it that much. That's how much I love it. He's on Deeper with Freddie Gibbs on Pinata. That's a crazy ass verse. So I know I would love Scarface. I just have to dig into his album.
Jump into the album, and that song is called Hand of the Dead Body. That Ice Cube verse alone puts him at least top 15 for me. Top 20 at maximum. That Ice Cube verse is legendary. He should have been there.
It's funny how a lot of these artists, our generation, or maybe a little bit younger, or maybe a little bit older, they're like, why is that guy from NCIS on stage? Like, oh, Ice-T was a very monumental figure in this culture. And
oh my gosh.
Like, why is that girl from the movies? No, why is the, like Queen Latifah, she's a big figure, and we might not only know her from movies. And I love seeing how everyone reacted to her. Like they were going hard to her and Missy Elliott. Like this, like Doja Cat was. It's so cool seeing people like love that music. And Jay-Z like just looked like a little boy hearing his favorite rappers.
It was beautiful. So I'm gonna ask you this question: should hip hop care about the Grammys? Again, everyone was like, "F the Grammys, we hate the Grammys." Right? Every year, hip hop hates the Grammys, but then you have everyone from hip hop coming in, and of course, they had a lot of big stars like Jay-Z and Kendrick, and everyone came in. So what's up with that?
I would say it's a mixture of take your praises if you get it. Like don't. It's amazing. This has been built into our cultural like zeitgeist that not the Oscars, that the Grammys is a big feat to get. On the other hand, you shouldn't let it ruin your day and or make it lead to your music being created to win a Grammy award. Like you shouldn't be like, why am I even doing this? I can't get down for the Grammys. I have to make this sound to get to the Grammys. Because we know that hip hop keeps getting kind of fucked up with who they nominate. And honestly, for all I know, electronic music, they're like, how are they nominating these people? Like, these aren't the real underground electronic artists. Country music might feel the exact same way. So I don't think it should hold too much weight to the people who don't get it or who lose the awards. But hey, if you win this award, it is people recognizing how great your music was this year. And when they do get it right for an album like Kendrick Lamar, it's like, yeah, you made something that was beautiful music and it's timeless. But I think there's other awards that like also mean a lot to them, like Kendrick winning the Pulitzer Prize. That's crazy. That's wild. He did that. There's MTV awards. I think anytime you get nominated for anything, it's just awesome. It's nice to feel that. But yeah, don't let it ruin your day.
Yeah, of course not. And of course, like Drake said the same thing. It's an opinion-based sport. So at the end of the day, it's all subjective. I know every year I'm always going to be geeked from the Grammys no matter what, because it is the Grammys. It's the biggest stars in music all coming together. I just think there needs to be, I don't know if it's with the voting council or how that really works, to really get hip-hop to where it deserves to be. I
thought Madlib was starting to handle that. Or was it Madlib? There was someone that they put as like the representative for hip hop. I'm not sure how they vote for it. It would seem pretty easy just to get hip hop writers in a room. And maybe that is what happens, and they just pick wrong because also Complex ranks, or in Pitchfork, they rank articles or albums poorly. So who knows? And I like that you mentioned the Drake thing, because I kind of forgot about that for a second. But yeah, he said, yo, people waiting in the snow for your music. They're outside paying $50, took off work early, maybe made less money that day to see you. And like, that's all that matters in this thing, that you're connecting to your fans. And if the outside world wants to also give you applause, cool. But like, the Grammys don't listen to Pusha T. And he isn't like, he knows that. He didn't make music for these people to listen to. He made music for people who like this style of music. Yeah. And they love it. He's the GOAT at that style of music. And
people need to know that the Grammys is also a business. I know like you were kind of upset when you saw DJ Khaled being nominated for a lot of stuff, but I don't think people understand, like, okay, this is how the Grammys think. If we nominate DJ Khaled, and especially God did, that means Jay-Z will come. And if Jay-Z comes, that means Beyonce might come. And guess what? He might perform God did. Oh, Hip Hop 50's coming? Yeah. Let's work with Jay-Z. That's why Jay-Z was able to spit the whole 4 minutes. I was questioning, is Jay-Z going to spit all his verse?
It's a long verse.
He did, because guess what? If you come out first, Beyonce ain't coming. And guess who's not coming? The rest of these hip hop legends. So it's a business, man. It's, I do something for you, you do something for me. It's a shame. Look at The Weeknd. Look what happened to The Weeknd. So, yeah.
He ain't ever going back.
Never.
That's facts. I mean, I still think they could have just given DJ Khaled like the single Grammy nominations and not given the album Grammy nomination. Yeah. But yeah, it's a business. I know in the Oscars, they like send gifts to the voters and money.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure the Grammys does that as much. I know like the Oscars is completely.
That's crazy.
Like, you're vouching. Like the companies pay a lot of money to the voters and shit. And they give them gifts.
I will say I think the Oscars does it better, though. Like this year, it was fantastic, the nominations. I think they usually do. Of course, sometimes every award ceremony can be off. Yeah, the Oscars is kind of the opposite, where they usually have like indie type, not actually independent movies, but like these movies are like artsy movies win awards. And the movies that do the best, like the superhero movies, don't get nominated, even though maybe some of them should. Like I know Angela Bassett won for
Black Panther.
Yep.
But yeah, in music, it seems like the most stream-worthy songs get nominated, and maybe the more artsy music and the more technical music doesn't get nominated.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Steve Lacy for being nominated so much.
Oh man, his performance, that was another thing I wanted to point out. His performance was incredible. Everyone was singing. Beyonce too was amazing.
Bro, it's a good song.
Yeah,
it was
a good song. I wish I was on him a lot earlier. Like you were saying, he was doing some work with Odd Future, which I didn't know. Yeah, but I wish I knew.
Yeah, and I think the reason why artists like Kendrick Lamar and Doja Cat are going like singing because he like works on their albums and he's been doing it for years, and they've seen this close collaborator just finally get this crazy amount of fame that he deserved the whole time. So he's
another performance I also enjoyed too was the Grammy Memoriam. Absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of people have some hot takes on that because, of course, the Grammy can't get everyone. So there were people who were missing from the Memoriam and people were upset and they're blasting the Grammys. But I understand, like, you can't get everyone. Maybe you can. I don't know. It's a difficult task. So I'm not going to blame the person who was in charge of that. Casey Musgraves, Quavo, Mick Fleetwood, Sheryl Crow, Bonnie Raitt, all were performing absolutely incredible, especially Quavo. He surprised me so much. I was curious how that auto-tune would relate to the Grammys crowd, but my goodness. And holding his chain on the microphone pole, amazing. Unfortunately, I did hear it just came out. There was a fight between Offset and Quavo behind the stage, which is why he may or may not have been there. So I just hope again that they're doing okay and they're healing because it's never easy. And we've lost a lot of people, man. Especially I always think about it, man. Mac and Nip, that hurt me so bad. I'll never forget.
It's awful. Yeah, he sang beautifully. And I think T-Pain said this once about Autotune, but people think you just like get on a mic and it sounds good. Like you have to be good at singing first for Autotune to really excel for your voice.
Yes and no.
Wait,
I know I said that a lot.
Wait. If you're recording like Logic, obviously you can edit around with like stuff. But I'm saying on the live performance stage, it's really they can't like live mix and fine tune it all. Like, he's a good singer. Like, I bet if Quavo sung without Autotune, you'd be like, oh, that's honestly pretty good. I don't think it's as good as T-Pain, but I thought he did really well with that performance. It was so sad and like a very beautiful, touching way.
Where I'll push back on you is there are artists who use Autotune who can sing to supplement their voice. And there's artists who can sing, who use Autotune just to make that sound. Like Travis Scott can't sing. Lil Uzi can sing. Lil Baby can sing. The Autotune helps them sound good. But you have artists like T-Pain. Even Kanye can sometimes have nice harmonies. Artists who master and know how to use it, who can sound good. So I just think it depends on who's using it, you know? Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my like Travis Scott argument back to that. Because Travis Scott doesn't
really... not, bro.
No, because he doesn't... Not. But he doesn't sing like... He's more like atmospheric.
No matter the way I feel, I'm better just a distant. He's singing, bro. Let it go.
Bro, actually, I bet if he had just like sang like live at a concert, I bet it doesn't sound awful.
He's not that back.
He's not hitting.
Did you not hear this man's raw vocal? Did you not hear every single day on Twitter when a certain artist raw vocals leak?
That's just crazy.
Like, this is garbage. Come on, man.
Bro, I mean, he makes like slightly melodic music. I don't think he never does crazy singing the way T-Pain does. Where he's actually singing. Yeah, I mean, we totally got off script right there, right? Yeah, shout out T-Pain. Good. He deserves way more respect because he's a really good singer.
100%.
Yeah, these people deserve
also,
respect.
Shout out to Dr. Dre, too. He won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. He got his own name for the Grammy.
I sent you that meme where it was like Obama putting the medal on Obama.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious because it's so funny. He won the award that like Dr. Dre wins the Dr. Dre Award.
But I'm happy either way, man.
That's sick. That's awesome. Like, bro, it's the 50th year. It's the biggest genre in the world. It's time for those monumental people in this culture to get worldwide. And he does have worldwide cultural esteem. But yeah, shout out to Dr. Dre. That was sick.
Yeah, he's my favorite producer and just icon of hip hop. He's gave me all my favorite artists: Eminem, 50, Snoop, Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City, everything.
Yeah, I was listening to Chronic today.
Oh yeah, okay, good choice, my guy. He's back on streaming. FYI, guys, it is back on streaming.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yep, but that's basically all the big things at the Grammys. Of course, there was more, and we could talk about it for hours, but obviously you don't want to hear us talk for hours. So if you made it to the very end, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to check out that article from Adam about the type beats. Incredible,
shout out J. Cole. Most humble man in the world.
Most humble man in the world with the Crocs and the regular tee and pants.
Hops on J. Cole type beats free.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we are out.
Peace. I fill my mind up with ideas.